Hi everyone, it's Billy here again from 47 Walls. I hope you're all well. Thank you very much again for joining us. We Today is pretty much about my little sea journey and just giving an update and talk about a few other things that's been happening as a result, and some of my learnings from this beautiful journey of ours. So thank you, and yeah. Basically, start off with the physical stuff. It's been 2 weeks or 2 and a bit weeks since I've had my diagnosis, so that's been a learning curve of patience. Finally I say finally, but I've got to see the surgeon on Thursday. That was very informative, and the whole team. It felt a bit weird being in a room where all the attention was on me. I'm not really used to that, but I guess I'm the key component of it, being the patient. But very thankful to the surgeon and all the staff. Unfortunately, from my perspective, and again, I'll talk about expectations in a minute, but basically, I've had a CT scan yesterday. I've got an MRI scan on Tuesday, and so the surgeon ran through all the different scenarios. Basically, the tumour that they've found through the colonoscopy was it's about 15 centimetres in, pretty close to obstructing the whole passage. So that's been a very challenging part of the journey. He gave us all the different variety of scenarios, the possibilities. What I did express is that it would have been probably better if they'd done the scans prior, and that way the surgeon had all the information in front of him. But it is what it is for that expression there. But that expectation. What I was going to talk about was I spoke to the GP during the week, and he seemed to think that I'll probably be in for surgery within 2 weeks, which is beyond that now. They're talking about 3 weeks, another 3 weeks time. So 10th of May, I've got myself booked in for tentatively anyway, depending on how the scan results go. Basically, the scan results are to confirm the location of the tumour and whether it's in the colon or the rectum. That'll dictate what's involved with the surgery, and also to scanning the rest of my chest and lungs just to make sure that there's no other lumps or little C's floating around. So they just want to make sure that if that's the case, then it could be other treatments before surgery. But again, like I said to the surgeon, it would have been nice to have everything done. That way we're looking at a scenario, not multiple possibilities. Through no fault of his and just the system. But anyway, that's one thing I've learned in this. I've been very lucky in my life. I'm 54, and I've apart from a few sports injuries and things like that, I've really been lucky. I haven't had to deal with the medical system a hell of a lot, not through avoidance or anything like that, but just been blessed. I really have, and as a result of that, now I'm going through this. Sitting around in waiting rooms and at the hospitals is a little bit foreign to me, and it's not a big deal. It's just learning the patience of that and knowing that I'm in the system now, and everyone's doing a fantastic job. There's some beautiful people that work at the hospital who are very passionate, but just my experience, sitting around waiting and seeing a lot of other people that are going through, not the same, worse than I am. But it makes you very appreciative of life and your health. And like I said, I've been pretty blessed up until now that I haven't had to spend a lot of time in doctors and hospitals. So to anyone that has had to endure that, my hat's off to you, because it's there's a lot of waiting and a lot of patience that I guess that's what they call us, patients, maybe. It's interesting. But physically struggling a little bit with the constipation. My tumour's basically almost obstructing my colon passage, so that's really making it a struggle for me to go to the toilet. But at the same time, I get surges, and I don't want to give too much information. It'll be too graphic for anybody. But ultimately, it's really messing with my sleep, and has been for a few months now. I used to do, those that know me, I did night work for 15 years, or shift work for 15 years. So I feel like I'm almost back on that. Just sort of waking up every couple of hours is, as we all know, sleep's pretty pivotal to every part of our life, and waking up every couple of hours, and occasionally I'll get 3 or 4 hours, which is nice. Definitely feel the difference there. But as we all know, 6 to 8 hours, I guess they say, depending on the person, is ideal. And not getting that over an extended period of time really does mess with your fatigue and your emotions and your physical health. So apart from what I'm going through, that's probably been a fairly big challenge for me. And at times, I wanted to talk about vulnerability. Is it a weakness or is it a strength? And one thing I recognised on Thursday that really came to me is the vulnerability part of what I'm doing. I've had 2 weeks to really sort of soak it in of the news, and there's been tears and realisations that we're about to embark on this journey, and trying to maintain a positive attitude and the learnings that are coming from this. And one very important one that I've recognised in the last couple of days is just vulnerability of handing your health over to a surgeon or a doctor or a nurse, and they are brilliant. They are a lot smarter than I am, but at the same time, it's difficult for me, or has been difficult for me, to actually hand that over. What you put that down to, like I said, might be just me not being used to doing that. I'm very much my own person. I like to do a lot of things in the natural remedies, natural alternatives, and try not to take too many pharmaceutical drugs. Each to their own, but that's just been my path, and something I've followed and quite passionate about, because I believe nature has a lot of healing medicinal benefits, and there's a lot out there that and I've learned a lot in the last week or two through this beautiful almost community of people that I know that have generously shared a lot of information. So I'm sifting through all those protocols, have started some, and I guess there's a combination going on here with the diagnostics, with the Western technology and the scans, the surgeons doing what they need to do. But what I find with the health system, it's very segmented. So the surgeons are brilliant at what they do, but they're probably not looking at it holistically. And everyone's got their specialty area. And that's there's pluses for that, obviously, and with me, I'm going to need surgery, so I want the best. I want someone that is concentrated in that area, but I guess from my perspective, I'm very holistic type person, not just medically, but any other facet of life. I like to look at the big picture. That's been interesting to hand that power over, or feel like I am anyway. And is it real, or is it just my mind that's playing games with me? But that vulnerability, but is it a weakness or a strength? It can be a weakness, I guess, or seen as a weakness, and people can see that. But I'm very much of the opinion that the vulnerability and being able to express that and show that is a strength. I truly believe that, and always have. Like, I've seen vulnerability in people over the years, family members, friends, through my police work, and to see the grace and the strength that people show in those really difficult times, and this is 47 Wolves All I Am, this podcast, and one of the ironies of me going through what I am now is that I started this with the whole intent of bringing people out and showing them there's a way to remove the mask and to be their full self, to be all I am, to be all of you. And now I'm getting that beautiful opportunity to express that and show that. And that's, all smiles. No, it's not all smiles. There's some challenges, some dips and ebbs and flows along the way. And, you don't want to don't feel like you want to burden everyone, and you certainly don't want to get down into dumps and spiral into that self-pity. But at the same time, it's really important that if whether it's cancer or whatever challenges that come to all of us, I've mentioned before, take that as an opportunity. What can I learn from this? But also at the same time, in that moment, or in that day, or however long, without sitting in that well for too long. It's important that you do acknowledge those emotions and that vulnerability, and then to be able to express that in a dignified and graceful manner. And I think it comes back to awareness, self-awareness. And if you have that, and you've done, I feel like I've done a lot of inner work. Am I a finished product? Far from it. To sit in the hospital on Thursday and then be a little bit frustrated that maybe the scans could have been done, but that's only my opinion, that's only my thoughts. There is a system there that's well outside what I know. I'm not part of that system, but again, to show that opinion, I felt frustrated, and I felt like I could have you really expressed that in an angry way or a frustration way, but I try to acknowledge that the people there are there for me, and they are there doing their best, and they certainly weren't involved in that decision making. We can sit here and play the blame game and get angry, but for me they're sort of lower vibrational things. And yes, I was in that moment internally, but I tried to take a deep breath and express that as gracefully but assertively as I could, because at the end of the day, this is my body, and I really want to be in control as much as I can as far as what gets done or doesn't get done to me, whether it be surgically or medicine or whatever it may be. I like to feel like I've and that goes for everyone. We should all be sovereign, and quite often the medical fraternity feel like they and they do. They have a lot more knowledge than us, but this has given me an opportunity to take. To learn more about what's going on, and I'm still scratching the surface with all this, because it's really, really new and fresh and raw. Learning along the way, absorbing what the surgeons and the specialists tell me, but at the same time, not just take it for gospel, and then be able to walk away and do my own research as well, just to ensure that I've, looking at it from a holistic point of view and a sovereign point of view. So it'll probably end up being a combination of Western medicine, but also there's a lot of alternatives out there, and it's certainly my preference to go down that path. So very good. So talking about physical, talking about emotional, mental, and spiritual health. My spiritual health is pretty good. I've done a lot of work over the years, and it's put me in good stead for what I'm going through at the moment. And it was an expression I heard the other day, is basically along the lines: if you practice when it's easy, then when you have those challenges or difficulties, then it's like muscle memory for anyone out there that's done sport or whatever. You do something, or even at work, if you do something a certain amount of times, your muscles go into automated mode and just take over. And that's for how we respond rather than react. Being in that calm and peaceful manner as an everyday practice is certainly putting me in a good position to handle whatever gets thrown at me. Basically, I'm still human. I've still got days where it gets a little bit teary and overwhelming, particularly, like I said, with the lack of sleep. That's a big deal for anyone that knows that. I'm sure you all do. So my next big thing is I really want to thank everyone again. I know I've said this before, but I'm just absolutely blown away by the people that have reached out, contacted me, family members, of course, friends, but ex-work colleagues, people that I haven't spoke to for a while, because life gets busy, and but the reaching out has just been phenomenal. And I wanted to express my gratitude in how thankful I am for that. I can't put into words how much that means. So Yeah, that's when I get teary because I realise the love and the compassion that's coming my way, and I'm used to giving it out, and not so receptive to receiving it. But yeah, I'm certainly welcoming every single part of it, and um, not everyone believes in this next part, but I've had, and I do want to special mention a couple of people of late, and I've had other people offer me, it's called Reiki. Reiki is basically like an energy healing. And for those that don't know, look it up. We are all energy, and I'm a firm believer of it. I've done all the courses on Reiki. I practice it every day. I've been a practitioner and practiced it on other people, and it's been interesting the last week, having received from two beautiful souls, and very proud to call both of them friends that offered it to me. One was a distance Reiki with Helen. She's from Golden Light Academy, and I'll put the link for her below. And Helen's a beautiful, beautiful soul that I actually learnt part of my Reiki with. And she performs Reiki crystal healings, predominantly with children, but young adults as well. But yeah, I'm sure she would help anyone that needs it. And we did it by distance Reiki, which some people might scoff at, but it was phenomenal when we actually connected later. Like, I'm here in my room, she was at her place, and it was amazing how connected we were even from a distance. And I have experienced that before, having been on the other end. But it's just incredible how energy has no boundaries. It's beautiful. So Helen, thank you very much for your work. And I'll put the link on there, because if anyone's struggling, it doesn't have to be cancer, but if you everyday troubles or everyday struggles, just trying to work out whatever it is, I would recommend Reiki very, very highly. And Helen is a beautiful soul with a heart intention, and so I'll put her link below. The other person I received Reiki from was yesterday from Jacquie, from Aquarian Quantum Healing. And that was beautiful. That was in person, so that was at her centre at Curramundi here on the Sunshine Coast. Again, even though you'd think it would be more powerful being in person, it's just as powerful as a distance healing. And it was a beautiful, beautiful session, and I received so much from it. And then the talk after, I think we end up spending 4 or 5 hours sitting there talking, but as we do. Those that know me know I don't mind to chat, particularly around the stuff that we like or love. So thank you so much, Jacquie. Again, I'll put Jackie's link on the on down below here. So if you're in need or feel the calling, Jacquie and Helen. There's other people that I know, but they're the two ones I want to mention specifically because they've helped me out in the last week. So once again, to both you beautiful souls, thank you so much for everything that you do and everything that you've done for me. The other thing I wanted to do, I'm in a group, I won't go into a lot of detail, but basically we get together when we can, but they're there most Sundays, and we get together, and it's amongst... we do like a ceremony. We have a little fire, and we sit there with all the elements. We go for a swim with the waterfall and the pool, like the rock pool. But we get together and we sort of pray, but in a gratitude manner. And everyone does that. We might do some breath work. We might do some chanting together, and then ultimately we do a sharing. And I've only been doing this with this particular group since January, but the bond that I have with some of these people is just amazing. In many ways, I've got to learn to get to know them at such a deep level so quickly, because we're allowed to be vulnerable. We're in a safe space, and we're allowed to be our authentic selves, and it's so important, and you get so much out of it because you're free. It's liberating to be able to just express yourself, and then to be there and hold space for others at the same time. So that group, if you're hearing this, thank you, all of you, every single one. There's various people that don't come every week, and I don't go every week. I go when I can, but there's a mainstay, a core group, I suppose, of people, and they're just amazing beings and doing wonderful things. And I've mentioned before in other podcasts this shift I'm feeling of love and compassion, as opposed to all the wars and fighting, and that I really believe humanity is reaching that tipping point. And when you come along to these things, the people that you meet really give you confidence and the clarity that this is actually taking place. And then it's the challenge is then to take all that beautiful energy back into our everyday to-day lives. And when we cross paths with adversity and challenges, like I am now, it certainly puts me in good stead, knowing that. And then, like I say, the support you like to be independent. I'm very independent, but at the end of the day, we are. It's a natural thing for humanity to be there for others, to be a community, whether it be small or global. Doesn't really matter, but it's such a beautiful thing. So I'm very thankful that God, or Greater Spirit, has put me on the path with these people, and it's just phenomenal. One of the things I wanted to mention that Danilo, if you're out there and you're listening to this, thank you, brother. He mentioned last week, and he has mentioned this a few times, that when we're going through adversity, or we want to create or manifest what it is we want or don't want, it's really important. He mentioned it again. It really resonated with me last week. Was when we are thinking about it, we quite often think about our physical self and what's in front of us. We're on Earth, we're in this vessel, but it's looking after the spiritual side. And it doesn't mean you need to be highly spiritual, or you need to be religious or anything like that. But you have to have a belief, and you have to. Basically, the principles behind it is go within, whether it be meditating or yoga or just walking in the park or going out in nature. Everyone will have their method, and it all works. It doesn't matter, because ultimately it's about your intent. But looking after the spiritual side, so your inner work, is so vital to then what happens outside of that, and that correlates or manifests itself into our physical existence. And that might not resonate with some people out there, and that's fine. As they say, like I say, if it doesn't resonate, that's fine. But hopefully a lot of people do. It does trigger or ignite something out there that just sometimes we can get caught up in what's in front of us, and not recognise that we haven't done the inner work, and we haven't done what we're receiving is a direct result of the energy that we're putting out. So, like a crazy example is, I'd love to win lotto. I want to be a millionaire. Of course, the odds of that, whatever they are, astronomical. But then we want to be wealthy, or we want to have a nice house, or whatever it is. And I'm using material things as an example. But if our energy doesn't align with what we are saying, our words, then the universe seems to know that and pick that up. So by doing that inner work, when you are saying something out loud, because words are powerful, then whether it be something like what you want, or what you feel like you want, or actually showing gratitude or love for someone, if it's done with an authenticity and an integrity, then it's so much more powerful and meaningful to the other people receiving that, but also to yourself. You'll know within, and then the energy also is from a universal point of view. If you believe in that, then the universe seems to resonate with your energy, not what you're saying. And it's so vital that Danilo brought that up, and it's definitely a part of my journey. So the reason I bring that up is to thank Danilo and the group and Bianca, but also to recognise that the importance of that. For me, having done, I can go get medicine, I can go get surgery, I can do all the stuff that needs to be done, but if I don't do the inner work and recognise that I've contributed to this, so whether it be my physical behaviours, or what my diet, or what I'm eating, but also my energy levels? Am I over exerting myself physically? Am I at peace, or is there things that I need to let go of? Like, am I angry? Is there traumas from childhood? Those that believe in it, past lives. It's a huge, huge thing, and it's real. In my opinion, it's real. My humble opinion, absolutely. I've seen and experienced plenty of things that have proven to me that's all real stuff. And it's so vital that we do that work, and we don't hold on to things, because then that ultimately will manifest. And if you've heard of metaphysical, look it up. The simple ones, the one example I give all the time is, if you're feeling over responsible or burdened, your shoulder might manifest in your shoulders, or we feel like things happen to us and we get ailments or injuries. But quite often, when you dive in and if you know enough about it, you can actually work out what has actually contributed to that, and that's taking responsibility and ownership of ourselves and our own health. So it's amazing how that, again, I'm a holistic person. I don't just look at the physical and mental and emotional stuff, but also your spiritual side. Again, that doesn't have to be too deep and meaningful, but just having that awareness and understanding. I just wanted to raise that today, and hopefully that resonates with whoever it does. And again, if it doesn't, it doesn't. That's fine too. We're all in our perfect spot, and we're all exactly where we're meant to be. So there's no right or wrong, no judgment. It's all beautiful. So just looking at myself here. I think that's about it. Thank you very much for joining me today. Appreciate all your love and the reaching out. Like I've said before, I can't thank you enough. I can't put it into words. Just incredible. And I'll keep sharing the journey to let you know where I'm up to and what's happening, but also hopefully a few little nuggets along the way that I'm learning, that hopefully that you might be able to pick and might help you as well in whatever situations that you're either going through now or maybe into the future. So thank you very much again. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I'll talk to you soon.